All right, guys, it is here. It is the Thunderdome 13 Elite 8 Quadruple Header Extravaganza. Welcome to Thunderdome. That song gets me jacked up every single time I hear it. And no, I'm not talking about my 8-bit forgot about Dre. I'm talking about Thunderstruck. But Thunderdome would not be possible without our fearless leader, pardon me, and also my partner in crime. Some may call him my boyfriend, some may call him my mistress. I just call him the love of my life. War Machine, how you doing, buddy?
You're fearless eater, huh? That's funny.
Fearless eater.
It's been a long day for you, I know, so I'll give you a pass on that. But yeah, it's exciting here. Elite Eight action. Just 1 month ago, exactly to this day, the 28th of February is when we started this with the group reveal. 100 guys all battling out for the championship. Now we're down to 8, and after tonight, we're going to be down to the final 4. So it's always a fun time. It's also a little bit bittersweet because, on one hand, we're going to crown a champion in the next week with a lot of great players and some great games, I'm sure, to come. But it's also, on the other hand, sad because Thunderdome is going to be over. It's been a month of nonstop action, nonstop streaming. Everybody has been getting 25 plus streamers on their games because there's been so much engagement. So that's a testament to everybody that's involved in being into the tournament. So so it is kind of bittersweet. It's going to be ending. It's a year away, but I'm ready to get this show going. So Hoff, anything to add?
No, it's crazy how fast it went this time, right? Like I feel like it just flew
Hmm.
by this year compared to other years. Maybe the group, maybe it's just like this process maybe just went quicker. I don't, you would know better than me. I just kind of feel like, like I feel like we did the group reveal yesterday, like
It
it's
does,
just
yeah.
it's wild to me. And I think it should go, let the records show our group reveal, which with the over under was 4 hours, ended up under 3 hours for what it's worth. So it's a testament to the fact that you and I, um, without everyone says, can actually stick to the timer. Who knew it was possible? I didn't.
I
I
know.
would have I would have given you 5-1 odds. Shout out to Colican, that we would not stick to the timer, but there you go. So yeah, but I have nothing to add. It's a little bittersweet. I love doing this with you, and as much time as it takes, I think that this is probably, as you always say, and I say too, the best time of year and the best part of this online community. Probably more so than the leagues themselves, to be honest with you, just because.
Absolutely, because everybody's involved. It's like literally 100 guys that are into it instead of your 28 guys per league. I know we have multiple iterations of our leagues now, but it's still like it's just different. League play versus tournament time is it's just a different animal. So I think having everybody, 100 people, get their games in so fast, everybody supporting each other, watching streams and being engaged, it was incredible. So I couldn't ask for more, and definitely a little sad to see it go. But back to the leagues and back to normal life, really,
You know,
not just Tecmo, but in reality with COVID,
y-
things are getting better.
so
So
yeah, it's a good point you mentioned that. So we're a year into COVID, as everyone knows. Obviously, things are opening up a little bit. I'm in New York, and things have really opened up here. Obviously, Thunderbolt is happening. Things have opened up in Wisconsin a bit as well. So it's like, things are opening up. I see people posting about tournaments all over the place that are coming up this year. They're definitely happening and whatnot. So that's exciting stuff. But I mean, when you look back over the last year and like what has happened to Tecmo, right? Maybe because of COVID. Honestly, I still think because of Thunderdome, to be frank. Like, if you think about it, literally at the start of Thunderdome 12, and I know I'm probably just, blowing smoke here, but whatever, who cares? It's our show. So literally, the start of Thunderdome 12, there was one 2K league that was just starting, right? Again, right, just starting back up because you
right.
had you had gone away. Um, I think, unless I forgot if we had run a fall
No, you're
season.
right.
Yeah, just
It
starting,
just came back. It was
just
literally
just,
like the
ju-
first season
yeah,
in.
it just
Yep.
had come back. We had one HSTL, and there was like a waiting list of like 30 dudes, 28 dudes, 20, who knows how many dudes were on the waiting list. And you and I literally on this stream, probably the group reveal stream or one of these streams last year, it was just like, hey, if you guys want another HSTL, let's run a D League. I'm ready. And then all of a sudden, boom, there's a D League. And then we ran like literally, I don't know, 2K wasn't as fast, but they were pretty quick. We ran like a whole season in a month, including playoffs. And it's just like literally 2 seasons go by of COVID seasons go by where I get 2 seasons in within a month. And then a G League is there. And then literally fast forward where we are now, and you got a D League for 2K. And literally, and then go lo and behold, after all of that, so like here I'm thinking Thunderdome is feeding us, right, in our leagues and whatever, and then our leagues feed Thunderdome, where there's people, obviously there's some people in Thunderdome that aren't in our leagues, but then you get 100 people in Thunderdome. It's just wild to me. It's just wild to me when you look
Crazy.
back over the last Tecmo year, as bad as it's been from a live tournament standpoint, which I know for some of you is the lifeblood of Tecmo. I know you agree with me, War. To me, the lifeblood of Tecmo is online Tecmo. I don't think Tecmo exists without online Tecmo. At least not to the it doesn't reach as many people as it does now with with online Tecmo. So it's just crazy to when you literally could look at online Tecmo even 2, 3 years ago, and there's a whole bunch of vets in this chat right now that tell you, you know what, Tecmo's dead, Tecmo's dying, online Tecmo's going away. You had to like fight to get people in the leagues, you had to beg people
Yeah.
to play. I remember I took over HSTL and literally I had to beg people to stay. There was zero on the waiting list, and now there's 3 leagues. It's just wild how where we are now compared to where we came from, to be honest, when you and
Yeah,
I.
it's crazy. It's evolved tremendously. I remember Thunderdome. I think the first year that I ran it was there's 48 guys, and the next year was actually less people. It was like 40 people, so it got reduced. And I was just wondering, okay, is this like the end, the beginning of the end? But then it got a nice injection of new players, and COVID really got a lot of newer players involved as well. So a lot's happened, but it's thriving now, and I'm just curious how it's going to shake out once things get back to normal in real life. If we're going to start to see a dip a little bit, but that's a future discussion for another day. But
Absolutely.
um,
All right,
yeah,
so
so
with all with
let's
all
move
with
on.
all that blubbering done, let's why don't we get this show on the road?
Yeah, so basically, just to kind of quickly, if you go to the next slide, Hoff, we're going to just kind of go through the bracket from the Sweet 16 on. You guys can see all the matchups on the screen here. We'll get into each one individually before the games start, just to give a quick little preview of each game. But here's a Sweet 16 bracket. I didn't put the whole bracket in just because it was so large and you just couldn't see anything. But it kind of gives you a sense of how we got here, where we are net right now. Obviously DPS. When we did the bracket release show, that region was just a monster of a region. So him coming um, him and MX being the last two guys left in this region is pretty incredible. With the people they had to beat to get to where they are. Thule, Regulator, top players, and even in the rounds before then, it wasn't an easy road for them. And then you got Randy, obviously probably the best player in 2020, just from a performance from a league perspective. No surprise there. And Bob Sacamano, like he's struggled in like some of these leagues, but I think over the last few months, he's just been playing incredible, right? You agree? I think
Oh
he's been doing
yeah,
really
so
well. Yeah.
since his return, so he came back, was not himself, and then left, and then came back recently and has been just a monster since he's been back recently. He's just been back. I will. I can't. I wasn't around for his prime. I'm not gonna lie, so I don't really know how good he really was. But I'd be surprised if he was playing any better than he is right now.
Yeah, I mean, beating Viking Mo and I guess just beating the guys he's been beating in this tournament, as well as I think he's been doing really well in HSTL and some of these other leagues. It's just been incredible. So it's great to see him kind of get back to his like peak, because I think when I joined, he was like probably on the downswing just from his probably prime. But so it's awesome to see him playing really well. And then on the other side, Nas, he survived Fast Ed. I mean, Fast Ed had him beat. Nas needed a last second JJ, literally last second JJ to beat Fast Ed. So, tournament play, one game is all it takes. The best player we have probably playing, and almost lost, and he pulled it out. So he's here playing probably the matchup. I think when we were looking at the bracket 2 weeks ago, this was the matchup we were looking forward to, right? Nas TecmoBo. This was like the
Yeah,
premier.
I was just gonna say this side of the bracket, in my opinion, in what I thought would happen, came out chalk. Like this is actually, forget what we said in our show and what have you. Like to me, this is what I expected from a chalk perspective of what would happen on this side of the bracket. Like I thought the four of you would be in the Elite Eight. The other side, obviously, a whole litany of shit could have happened, and obviously, I don't think I had any four of those guys in my final four on that side, but I don't remember, to be frank. But it's just like I didn't feel, as I told you. I mean, you and I talked for at length after the show when we did our bracket reveal, and I didn't feel confident about any of it, and you didn't either, honestly, with any of our bets or whatever we did. So it just goes to show you anything can happen. And I think someone said it best. During one of my draft review shows today. At this point, with when you get to the players that you see in front of you now, and how well people are playing and what have you, at this point, we were talking about the motions in HSTL, but it's like this too. Sometimes it's just not what how good you are or what we expect of you. It's more just like what happens in that specific game. A specific
Exactly.
a specific game. We don't.
Matchup even. I mean, like
Yep.
any matchup, like losing a toss can really dictate your expectation, right? So that's that one little 50-50 thing can really change, how this tournament's going to shake out. So go ahead. I
Yeah.
interrupted
Well,
you.
that's all I was saying. It's just that
Yeah.
matchup or anything else. It's just you know we can sit here and say like Randy Wags, Nas, TecmoBo, like three of the best players online. TecmoBo's obviously been disappeared, but so let's say Nas and Wags have been like two of the most consistent guys online in the last couple of years, right? I mean, I think it's safe to say that for both of us and both of our
Right.
eyes. And it's just like, I mean, look what happened with Fast Ed. Fast Ed played the game of his life. I don't think Fast Ed could have played any better aside from maybe getting in better position on that final play potentially, and that's it. And it's just he still lost just because of Tecmo, and it's like
Yeah.
because like a break did it go his way or a break didn't go his way. It's just like, and that's just kind of like that's kind of what happens. And so like I think what's lost on people when people complain when they lose, because I'm just kind of more commenting now on some of the stuff that we've seen as players have lost and what they said in the chats and stuff. I think what's lost on people is that I get the people who complain after every loss because of a reason. Yeah, it gets tired and whatever, but it doesn't. I think it takes away from the fact that Tecmo really can make people lose. Like they lose because of Tecmo, and it happens. And I know you feel this way, and I feel this way. When it happens, it's frustrating as all hell. Like it's hard enough to lose when you playing and you're not playing your best, so you get pissed at yourself. But when you're not playing your best, or you are playing your best and then you still lose because of Tecmo and not
Yeah.
because the person beats you. It's just a frustrating thing that it's hard to cope with. So
It is. I mean, Tecmo is really for the mentally strong, right? Because you have to be able to withstand the variance that you're going to see. Like in league play, you may have a stretch of games where everything just goes wrong, and how mentally strong you are to kind of just plow through it and not let it get to you, and then where you're basically not playing your game going forward. That's really part of it, because like it's very rare you're going to have a Tecmo game where it's 100% clean game, right? It's almost impossible. You're going to have the JJs, the CCs, like all that stuff's going to happen, right? It's very rare you're going to have it. So sometimes you just have to be mentally strong to kind of plow through those moments. And usually the ones that are consistent, that are the ones that are the top guys, not only from a skill level, but they're able to withstand all that variance that's going to happen throughout like a season or a tournament. So
well, yeah, I mean, every
um,
single time I've seen someone hit a back of end zone throw in this tournament, in the streams, whatever, with the back of
yeah,
end zone throw, I didn't hit against stall that I played perfectly. And granted, I'm not
yeah,
saying the back of end zone stop throw is high percentage. I don't think it is. Maybe, I mean, Brew can talk more to it than I could. I don't perceive it as a high percentage play. I gamble on it all the time to not defend it in gameplay all the time. But like I played it perfectly and I missed it, and then how many guys have hit it? So it's just like stuff like that. It's just small little pieces, which was the difference between Stall winning and me winning. Like, did it come down to only that play? No, but in essence, literally, it did. So it's just kind of those things.
yep. So here we are. This is our Elite Eight. We have 4 games tonight. We're gonna go through a quick little preview before each game, just kind of go through the matchup and the two players. So I think we got Randy Wags and Sacamano to start. So you go to the next slide. We can just kind of talk through an old classic Minnesota Washington matchup call. So Sacamano won the toss, called Minnesota Washington. At least for me personally, I always take Minnesota in this matchup. I think uh, Brew probably has the math from all the results. I would think Minnesota probably comes out ahead most of the time in this. What are your thoughts on this matchup? And then I guess with these two guys and their styles.
Well, and so I'm actually kind of surprised a little bit that Wags took Minnesota. Like I know Minnesota's the team. I think Minnesota's like my favorite team to take in tournaments, to be honest with you. But I feel like, I mean, with what you know of Wags and how he likes to grind and what have you, I mean, don't you think that he would take Washington instead? Because Washington's a better grinding team when it comes to like, a higher MS running back, more BC and all that stuff. I mean, I know you got the back and B to Carter and you've got Browner and stuff, but I mean, I don't know. Like, I kind of almost half expected Wags to take Washington, even though I think Minnesota's the better pick.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I I think he probably took him for the defense. I think having the different pieces in different positions, where Washington, you're kind of in no man's land with Green and Mayhew constantly trying to pick the right guy to use. With Taps, I think Randy probably feels like he can move the ball on him. For me, like I see Minnesota more like at least in this matchup. For me personally, it's being a non-tapper. Like for one, it's sort of a back and B matchup. I to to try to grind with Minnesota as a non-tapper is tough. But Randy has a tap, so I think he feels like he could probably move the ball consistently, and he has the better defense to stop. But giving Sacamano, the different litany of receivers with his passing offense, is interesting. I think he did the right thing by taking Minnesota, and I'd be interested to hear his thoughts as well in the chat if he's there to kind of see what his thought process is. But it's a classic matchup. You can go either way.
Yeah, I mean, and we kind of saw this matchup in you were playing someone I think in group play where you called this matchup or they called this matchup and
Hide and rank. Yeah, he
yeah,
called it.
and it was like it was a shit show, right? And we basically you and I talked about it afterwards, and we basically said like, well, this is what happens when you don't play it as a back and bead matchup when it's just like a grinder because it was like it was a joke. So
Yeah, I know exactly. But it's a great matchup. It's one of my favorites that I like to play because I think it's pretty even. Minnesota's definitely advantaged, but I think Washington can definitely hang. So, do you have a prediction for this game? I mean, this line is courtesy of Bruddog. So Bruddog has his, he has all the math, and this is what his Brewbot spit out -4 for Randy. This is purely on I think just owner. It's not on team. So just keep that in mind as well. So who do you like in this matchup from like just from the money line, just picking the winner, and then like do you think Sacamano covers?
I think Sacamano covers. I think it should be three. I think four is in the Vegas zone with 2 point conversions, like when they move, and also when they move the extra point back. So
Yeah.
I don't. I think anything above three is in the Vegas zone. Like I don't know if you guys know what I really refer to by that, but that's what I call it, and that's what Bill Simmons calls it too, actually. But so I definitely think the line should be -3, to be frank. But so I think Bob Sacamano will cover -4. I don't know who wins outright, and I don't think there'd be a good play either way, honestly, from a money perspective. I don't think that it would be. I don't think the money line would be over 200 either way. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's just like I don't think it's a good value either way. It's more just who do you think's going to win? It's kind of like I think it's a coin flip, to
All
be
right.
frank. I mean, don't get me
Okay.
wrong. Randy's playing out
Interesting.
of his mind. Randy's better in a sense of like so far, like because he's so consistent. But with the way Odell's been playing, who knows, right?
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. I think this is closer. I think Brew mentioned in the chat that it's a 4-year Thunderdome rating. So I mean, obviously Sacamano's been playing or Odell's been playing lights out over the last couple of months. So that 4-year rating might not really apply well for him.
Yeah, I'd,
So
I'd
I
probably
agree. I think it's going to be much closer than
Yeah,
that
I'd
for
probably
sure.
call us a pick. I would say in
Okay.
real life it should be a pick. So,
All right.
all right,
Let's do
so
it.
let's get this show on the road. And just so you guys know how this works, we're gonna call the game, stream it. War Machine's gonna leave us, and then he'll be back after the game, and we'll talk about the result. So our first game we have here is Bob Sacamano of the Redskins versus Randy Wags of the Vikings. Let's get the show on the road. All right, Odell won the toss, so he's clearly gonna kick off. Let me know if the music or if the gameplay is too quiet. I didn't test it beforehand, and I can turn it up for you or turn it down depending on what you think. I'm looking at my meters. It looks a little quiet to me, but I'm gonna turn it up for you guys. There we go. This is as loud as it'll go. So fumble there on the kickoff could have been disastrous for Wags, but turned out okay. Both guys have a 25 MS kick returner, so um, not going to be long kick returns here. So you can see Wags really put in a playbook that runs at Mayhew a lot, almost baiting him to use green, so that way he can't, JJ pick Wilson at all. And good execution there by Wags, getting the ball over. Just like, once again, when you're manning Mayhew, obviously it's going to leave guys open, and Wags found him and got the ball there even with 44 PS. Oh, look at that blocking that Wags got in that play. There was nothing Odell could do. There was like a cavalry with him. It was like the flying V from Mighty Ducks. That play was something. All right, let's see how Odell can respond to this opening drive touchdown by Wags. So you got to think it's going to be Browner almost all the time. I don't understand that. I mean, at least take Dolman. Like, why take Thomas on that play? Take Dolman and maybe popcorn somebody. So as I was surmising, I thought he was going to maybe nickel a little bit with Merriweather, and he did. And I'm also not surprised by Odell using Humphreys instead of Rippin. He is just completed a season in HSTL League where he had a 44-38 QB and Ware. Granted, he had better wheels, but point being is he's very familiar with the angles and all that with that. Something Odell, and I'm saying this right as he gets sacked, something Odell has been doing really, really well, I think, is towing the line, going up and down the line of scrimmage without going over. And it's almost like what Josh Allen does for the Bills, and just kind of like evading tacklers until someone gets themselves open. Also, if you guys don't see it, there's a poll up in the chat asking who will win. Please take your vote. We'll see what the results were after the game. Everyone open here for Odell, but he's just going to take it easy there. I actually think Odell absolutely could have thrown the tight end there. I don't think Wags would have gotten down there. And Odell just putting on a clinic passing mode. He's just been lights out lately. So you can still see Wags trying to figure out how to defend specifically those runs up the middle, and he's not sure how to do it. Actually, if you look at it, it looks like Lee is unblocked there. And I think he could actually probably man Lee and try to get up from DB2. I will tell you, manning Thomas at the nose tackle is not going well. Condition check real quick. Studwell and good doesn't mean anything. Millard and bad, he hasn't been using him. Lee and bad, which could matter. Offensively, Art Monk and good. Calvin Bryant and bad. That's all that really matters for Odell. And stops are right before the line to gain. And so third down here, and if he doesn't pick his play and Odell doesn't get it, you got to think he's going for it on fourth down. Oh, and saved by the drone block. So here we go. Big play in the game. 4th and 1. No hesitation from Odell. Is he going to get this? Oh, and so he popcorns him off and then gets caught by another blocker. I don't think he would have stopped it there anyway. Great play call by Odell and gets in on a nail-biting 4th and 1. So we got a 7-7 game. You got to think Wags really has to grind this out, not give Odell a chance to double dip here. So Wags is definitely pretty good at that, so you think he can do it. Really staying in bounds. I mean, dangerous there. Granted, he did get out of bounds eventually, but condition check real quick. Alfred Anderson good, but Hassan Jones and bad. On the other side, nothing really to note. All right, so 3:43 left for RandyWags to score here before the end of the half. So that is the one thing I don't. Ooh, minimum speed. He knows he doesn't have the taps. No one there to help. I was gonna say the one thing I don't like about Wags' playbook is that he gives him 2 free plays, if not 3, where he knows he can take green. and not Mayhew because of the motion runs. Granted, I know they're ISO runs, and as you can see there, it worked out really nicely, but it just lets him know he can take green instead of making him pick whether he has to take Mayhew or not. And Wags just grinding it out, doing his QB scramble thing. Ooh, and look at the drone stop there for Odell. Oh, when he blitzes them, but Wags out taps him. Everyone open, gets the ball down to Jordan, and so gets in, however, tons of time for Odell to score 10 and a half here and have a chance at double dipping. Little surprised Odell didn't try to dive there instead of grapple. All right, so let's see what Odell can do with the last minute and a half of this half. And Odell going for it all. So he's going to take this opportunity just to back and beat it a few times. Smart. Gets, oh, I thought he had that, JJ, and whiffed. And we're down to pretty much one. If this play isn't picked, this is probably the last play of the half. And this will definitely be the last play of the half here. Oh, and missed throws. Oh, it's picked off. I was going to say if it fell incomplete, it was going to be another play for him, but so big break there for RandyWags that Odell did not double dip. It goes to wonder, is Odell second-guessing himself where he should have potentially tried to move the ball up in a JJ zone instead of just throwing back from where he was like everyone else usually does. Maybe get the ball somewhere between the 30 and 40. Condition check real quick. Joey Browner in good, but Millard still in bad, but Dolman also in good, which is nice. On the offensive side, Monk and Gary Clark in good. Odell moving really nicely in the pocket with Stan Humphries. And you can see RandyWags, ooh, nice little juke there. Oh! Fumbles out. I thought it was going out of bounds. Catches the ball before it even hits the ground. And man, what a nice juke ball, Odell, but not getting out of bounds cost him. And he's so good about getting out of bounds, too. As Warren and I were just saying, Tecmo can decide the game for you. We've seen a bunch of drone JJ blocks in the middle of the field tonight. And there's a block at the line. That play probably would have been one of those safety glitches if it was on the goal line. Wags getting the ball off and gets it just past the line to scrimmage, or the line to gain, and gets a first down. Keeps the ball moving. Wags moving surprisingly well in the pocket, but it helps that Whiskey Wade Wilson is not hungover and in good with 19 MS. And just like that, Wags gets on the board with a 2-score lead over Odell. Fumble really doing Odell in. All right, so Odell does have some reprieve of the fact that he's player one. So as player one, he has a much greater chance of getting an onside. You got to think he's got to score here before the quarter, then kick off and hold him. Oh, man. And I'll tell you, no one gets the ball to running back one on that pick play than Odell. He's going to bomb it. Way to bait him to going deep. Masterful job done there by Odell, and look at RandyWags taking the bait even when he was covered. Wags getting great coverage there in the secondary, but Odell just stepping up in the pocket and just delivering a strike to the underneath guy. I still contend Odell really wants to score before the end of this quarter potentially, but I don't think he's going to push it if he has to. Just because I think it would benefit him. I thought it would have benefited him to maybe get the free play quarter situation, but it's not. It's too late now. And as you can see, Wags still has not figured out how to stop that run. Good job by Odell there, utilizing this free play of time. Oh! Throws it into coverage, unlike him, but hoping for the angle or something there, but it didn't work. Condition check, Joey Browner in excellent. Holy hell. That does not bode well for Odell, but Art Monk also in excellent. And finally, on a pick play, the Vikings get to Stan Humphries. And there's the JJ pick by Browner. I mean, 81 interception, and this game is all but over unless weird stuff happens. Great positioning by RandyWags on that play. It's hard to get in the proper position, and with Browner in excellent, even if he wasn't, it's a JJ pick all day. Conditions a little bit did in Odell in this game, but also, honestly, Tecmo. I mean, not being able to convert at the end of the half there was really big, and a chance to double dip, and then obviously the fumble is what really did him in. I think he wouldn't be forcing that issue on that last pass play where he just got intercepted if he wasn't down 2 scores. And just like that, Whiskey Wade, who is not hungover and good, misthrows a wide open, maybe Steve Jordan, I'm not sure if he has it there in the tight end spot. Looks like this is going to be a touchdown. Nope. I think if that was actually not overthrown, it might have been a JJ pick. Cross field. And JJ drone block. So there's still a sliver of hope here for Odell if somehow Wags does not score on this field goal. I think it might be wide. Wow, he doinked it in. So for all of you guys who say when you grapple the holder, it automatically misses, that clearly shows you it's not true. That has definitely sealed this game. There's just not enough time in the game for Wags to score, or Odell to score 3 times, unfortunately. Masterful run, though, by Odell. I think that he's been playing lights out. I think Tecmo really did him in here. And I think, you know, Wags kind of showed you why you want to be the Vikings in this matchup. Oh, and Browner, who popcorned his the lead blocker on that play. So finally, at 69 HP, Wags figured out how to stop this play, and then he doinked off somebody and got knocked down. I swear, Odell has gotten all his rushing yards on those halfback dives. And there it worked, and finally, oh, he got knocked out again! And Odell's gonna score! Well, Odell makes it a little bit more respectable, but RandyWags has us in the bag. Congratulations, RandyWags. You have advanced to the Final Four. Better luck next year, Odell. Welcome back to the fold with your clearly elite gameplay, my man. I can't believe there's 1 second left in this game. All right, so that's all she wrote on this game. Once again, congratulations, RandyWags, and better luck next year, Odell. Fantastic run, my man. All right, War Machine, give it to me, man. What did you think of that game? I think that it's a completely different outcome. A, if Odell hits that end of half JJ, and B, if he doesn't fumble.
Yeah, exactly. Those were the two big things. I couldn't believe he did not hit that JJ. It was timed perfectly. Maybe it was at 30 APC. I don't know, but it seemed like it was right on target, and that was huge. This game was going to be a score for score game just by looking at the first couple possessions. You can tell, Odell was like in control of the offense. You can just kind of see him the way he was maneuvering. He was moving the ball at will, and Randy could not stop that up the middle run, which was surprising given the Vikings have the pieces to kind of make that stop. Usually it's Washington that can't do it, but it
What?
just sucks. I mean, fumble just killed the momentum, but it was a self-inflicted wound. We all saw he turned up the field when Odell is notoriously always going out of bounds like all the time, and I was just surprised he didn't do it there, and it cost him the game.
Well, it goes to show you too, though. Honestly, if you just look at the end of this game, right? And just to give you some perspective on how, and granted, I know Wags won, so I'm being nitpicky here, but he couldn't defend the up the middle run as we talked about. If you saw Browner an excellent popcorning, whoever the lead blocker was, that means he had a wide receiver in there or Bryant or whoever was in at running back two or whoever was in the lead blocker spot, and Browner was popcorning him. Granted, I know Millard went into bat in the second quarter, but in the first quarter, Wags could have simply just used Millard, popcorn that guy, and engaged. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
you have to know the personnel and know who's where on the field so you know who to use because, you know, the talk of this game, if Odell had won, would have been simply Randy Wags with one of the best defenses on the ROM couldn't stop Odell for a lick, and he didn't. I mean, really, he didn't even make him sweat even a little bit until that 4th and 1 at the goal line. It's just a fumble. That's the only time Odell
Right.
was really stopped. I mean, the interception was more. I know it was great positioning by Randy Wags, and that's hard to do, but you and I both know Odell's not forcing that throw if he's not down by 2 scores.
Absolutely. Definitely. I think that just was like dictated by the score. Really, he's kind of forcing things there, but Odell just did a great job, like moving the ball and finding the open man. Didn't force it. Didn't go down to the JJ level. He missed that at the end, like right before the half, but he was moving the ball pretty easily and was in complete control, which is tough to do against the Vikings, right? So kudos to him for playing so well. But like we mentioned before the game, Tecmo is always going to have those fumbles and how you bounce back from, and he just couldn't recover because he just couldn't stop Randy at all in this game.
Yeah,
Randy
and we,
was
we should get
kind of moving the
definitely. I
ball
know
well.
we're sitting here talking about how Tecmo and all this and that, but I mean nothing can be taken away from Randy. As much as Randy couldn't
Yep.
stop Odell's offense, and he did put himself in fantastic position to get that JJ pick. Odell couldn't stop Randy's offense either. I mean, I think that's some of the best QB play I've seen Randy do in a long. I mean, I don't watch a ton of Randy streams, but I just know that potentially QB play isn't one of his biggest fortes, right? And I thought he played stellar, moved around stellar with his QB, and did everything he needed to do. Helped that Whiskey went into good, and I mean, obviously a couple missed throws by Whiskey Wade, it would have been a lot worse. And I thought Randy made almost, pretty much all the correct decisions the whole game. So I thought offensively, Randy executed very well.
He did, and that's what Randy does. He just executes. He plays solid. Doesn't go for the spectacular plays. He just, keeps the offensive players in front of him, gets the fumbles here and there, just plays solid. So that's why he's one of the best out there. So congrats to Randy for being the first person in the Final Four. So probably not a surprise to a lot of people, just given Randy's stature in online. But obviously getting where he is now in the Final Four is still an accomplishment. So definitely congrats to him, and congrats to Sacamano Odell for again having a great run in
All
the
right,
tournament.
so on to you versus Brewdog. I'll let you give us the intro on this one, man. Tell me your thought process. You won the toss. You picked the matchup. Where was your head at?
Yeah, so really, I was 0-6 with coin tosses coming into this game, so I've lost every single coin toss in the tournament. So I actually kind of hoping I'd lose this toss because you know I wasn't sure what Brew was going to call, but I prefer to kind of be player one, but pick the team. I know that's not part of the tournament structure, but that's kind of what I like. But I had a couple of matchups in mind. So Phoenix Jets, I know people shit on it because everybody plays Phoenix Jets. But this was a match that I played Randy last year, and I had Randy beat. I think it was Sweet 16, and it's just a matchup I'm really comfortable with. I like Phoenix. I'm probably in the minority where a lot of people like don't like using Phoenix, but I do like them, so I'm okay with either team. And I just want to keep a receiver and a stud passing game away from him. We all know Bruddog is the master of the JJ, so I kind of wanted to keep away from giving him like a Minnesota team or something, or the Rams, that kind of thing. So I kind of want to keep it down the lower tier. I play really well. I think it's a more of a technical matchup. It's not, you have to have a lot of skill like to kind of thrive in this matchup. And I wanted to keep it so it's going to be hopefully a close game, right? So Phoenix Jets was one of my classics, so that's kind of my thought process
Yeah,
behind
I'm
it.
kind of a little surprised you went Phoenix Jets with Brewdog because I mean, as Speed kind of has proven over the past, not to mention his name, but you know, all you need is a 44-69 wide receiver. Brew has that in tune, and granted he's player two, so it's a little bit different. But he's got Ken. He can throw in Tony if he wants to back and be it. So I figured you
Yeah,
might have considered a different kind of matchup where you don't really have that, almost like an elite running game matchup. Like a Denver, San Diego, or something like
yeah,
that. Like that's more what I would have thought you might have picked to make him run the ball, obviously, and do a more grindy, like high PS pass games, thing like that. But I mean, you know better than me. I just so that's interesting thought process here. Brew can
he
probably
was P2, so I figured if with P2 with Jets, yeah, like with the whole speed ball, it could work. But as P2, it's something that I think is at an advantage. So that also played into a little bit as well.
well, as
So
Noonan says in the chat, man, I quote, "Brewdog's the man, but I think the edge here goes to War. Not sure why. War is a survivor." So
that's great.
you're a survivor, bro. You're my
Yeah,
survivor.
I mean, I'm happy to be here. So I'm just here for whatever. Anything that happens is gravy at this point for me. So I just want to make sure I didn't embarrass myself, in front of everybody here. So that was my main goal in this game.
Well, guys, there's two things that we should probably point out real quick here. One, skipping halftime does not upset any fake Tecmo gods because screw halftime. But more importantly, War Machine beat the kid and he's still alive. So, point being is, if there were Tecmo gods, they would have struck him down and smited him for beating Jay Brooks, and they haven't done so. Maybe it's all the goodwill he's built up by being my PIC in the online community as well as running this tournament. But I just seem to think that if Tecmo gods existed, they would have struck him down and smited him and prevented him from beating the kid, and the kid would be winning the whole tournament. So just for what it's worth.
Exactly, and he played great. I mean, we went to overtime, and it was a great game. He's phenomenal for his age, and definitely shouldn't be undersold for being a 13-year-old. He's really a great player. So, but yeah, we'll see how it shakes out. So who are you picking to win this game?
I'm gonna go you with the upset. I got it, man. I just gotta. I just got a feeling. I, I
Okay,
I'm gonna
all
agree.
right.
I'm gonna agree with Noonan. Noonan's words inspired me. It's kind of like when you hear some of those inspirational things where you've got like the Dark Knight Rises in the background music, and you've got some inspirational speech about pushing harder and going further than your body, that your mind says you can, because your body can go further than your mind. This is kind of how I feel about you right now. So, all right. So
Okay,
without further ado,
let's do it.
War
I'll
Machine's
be
gonna
back.
sit and watch his game back. He and Brew are the only ones I think who know what happened here. But without further ado, let's get this show on the road. We've got Bruddog as the Jets versus War Machine of the Cardinals. So quick heads up while this game is starting, there is a 5-minute lull in here that I'm either going to try to speed up a little bit or I'm going to bring back War and just talk, maybe about his thoughts in the game. Not sure where it is, but it's coming, and he's going to give us a heads up in the chat when that lull is. So I think it's a big advantage to win the coin toss and have a chance at double dipping. So Brew wasting no time and going to shotgun formation. And something to note, if you guys, for some of your newer guys or some of the guys who maybe don't feel as experienced online, when you watch these better players in these streams, if you notice, they are never standing still in the pocket. They are always moving somewhere at some angle, going somewhere, just never staying in the pocket. And just if you've never taken note of that, you should. That literally you should always be moving around somewhere. And Brew getting grappled, doing a nice job of getting away there. Probably could have dumped it off to Thomas there, who was stopped about 5 yards out, but decided just to run the ball instead. Brew actually wins the tap matchup in this, believe it or not, because when he does his slide thing that he can do, he hits a 15 or so. So I think War probably isn't even trying. And Brood is moving nicely down the field. For what it's worth, when War taps, he does tap like an 8 to 10. I think he just wasn't really trying. And good defense there by War, 2nd and 3, and Brew just having his way, moving down the field, doing whatever he wants in this game so far. Ooh, nice evading the pass rush by Brew, and he's going to sneak it in. So the only hope there was that by the time Brew stopped grappling with the other guy got him from behind, but it didn't work. And so that's twice in that drive that Brew was able to avoid one guy, make him dive, and then grapple with another and get away. Very strong start by Brew on that drive. All right, so let's see what War Machine can do against Brew's defense. And already play 1, and Brew picks it. There's nothing more demoralizing than just getting your first play call picked. Nice job there by War, looking Brew deep to the tight end and then dumping it off to Johnny Johnson, making it a much more manageable 3rd and 2. Brew getting good blocking there, although the blocker's not really helping. Brew going all over the place, looked like a bird there, and War gets the first down. Nicely done. Ooh, nice avoiding by War, and just easily gets the first down there, scrambling. Probably could have dumped it off to Johnny Johnson, who was about 15 yards, but it would have been disastrous if Brew was waiting off screen, waiting to intercept him and bait him. And War Machine doing his best to get out of bounds. 2 guys bouncing off, but still losing the tap off. First quarter down the books, and Timmy going into good, which is really helpful for War Machine. A, it brings up his PS a little bit, and B, more importantly, it brings up his PC. So now McMillan only JJ picks him 50% of the time instead of 100% of the time. Defensively, Dennis Verdon's bad is the only thing to note for Brew. And nice avoiding of the guy there by War, and War just grinding down the field. And War really trying to use Timmy's 25 MS to his advantage. Big that 3rd and 2 here. War's pretty good about taking the points, but you think if it's 4th and manageable, he's going to go for it. And he gets it anyway, so, oh, nice move. Stays in bounds, though, but great move. And now it's 1st and goal to go. Great job staying behind the line of scrimmage by War, but can't get away from the drones there. Not great blocking. Oh, man, what a dive by Brew, and fumbles once again playing a part in Thunderdome. Man, what a dive. That was a really strong, time-consuming drive by War Machine. Much like the one that Brew had to start the game. And War just can't get in Brew's head, not calling his play. I don't think he's called his play all game. And there's just always a guy open, allowing Brew to scramble. And Ken O'Brien now in good at 63 PS. Ooh, drone, stop there. 63 PS, 56 PC, which helps. But Lonnie Young in good, which should help War Machine immensely. So fast. Oh, and Ken in good, missed throws, making Brew punt and reprieve for War Machine. Everybody open. Brew throws to the one guy that a drone got back to. I wonder who got back there on him. That guy was fast. All right, so War's got 54 seconds here to back and be it for a touchdown-ish. It's one-on-one coverage. You got to go for this throw. So he's going to have 2 full shots at this, hopefully. Getting it off the green. I think it should be deep enough. Not locked in. Oh, man. Overthrow. I thought that was going to be good. It looked good. Timmy Rosenbach, man. That 38 PS. I just can't figure it out. So we put Johnny Johnson in at tight end, or wide receiver 2. I'm sorry. So did he bait him into picking a play? And who knows? Johnny Johnson's in at wide receiver 2. He's throwing to Johnny Johnson. Great protection at the line. So more than enough time to get the ball there. I think it's deep enough. And once again, the overthrow. Man, Timmy is not balling. I think this happened to me in my Thunderdome last year, actually, with Timmy, where I was in a matchup and he missed everything. I just couldn't do anything with Timmy Rosenbach. I got destroyed. Well, Timmy's in excellent now, so that's 31 MS, 44 PS, 56 PC, which is right up War's alley. He loves having the mobile QB. Prohl is in average, but Ernie Jones is in bad. And then when he's on defense, he's got Jay Taylor and Lonnie Young in excellent. Lonnie Young is going to be so fast and excellent. But on the other side, Ken O'Brien's in excellent as well. And then Eric McMillan is in good. So we've got key player condition changes all over the place. And War throwing into coverage, and this would be a disastrous 3-and-out if War cannot convert with an excellent Rosenbach. But just look at this insane drone coverage that Bruddog is getting. Just insane. Oh, I thought it was going to be another overthrow, but he gets the JJ to green straight on. And just like that, War Machine gets bailed out while doing some nifty pocket work, avoiding the drones. That's what 44 PS will do for you. And it goes to show you 38 PS is trash. I can't wait to see how fast look how fast Lonnie Young is. It is ridiculous. But everyone's open. I'll tell you, War Machine is not getting good drone coverage whatsoever. And once again, I still don't think War Machine, I think he's picked one play for Bruddog all game. Ooh, look how fast Young is. But Bruddog getting some good blocking, plus an excellent Lonnie Young is still only 56 HP, so he's not really popcorning anybody. Lonnie Young going way back. Oh, bad throw by Brew. Bailed out that he was covering with Harvey instead of Lonnie Young there. Oh, he's going for the sack. No, he's not. Oh, and I don't think War could have played that any better. It's just having the running back open and having Ken O'Brien an excellent 25 MS. There's just nothing you can do on that play. Oh, that looked like it was going to be your standard P2 overthrow interception, but not that time. Yes! There it is! Tecmo giveth and Tecmo taketh. So the tides have turned here. You got to take advantage, I think, of Timmy and Excellent here, but he disagrees. And gets out of there. Bruddog gets tossed down. Nice move to get out of traffic, and he's off to the races. What a run by War Machine. I don't know if I saw a condition update or not. Oh, I did. And big advantage here for War now. Lonnie Young stays excellent. Timmy stays excellent. But Ken O'Brien goes back to good. Oh boy, 3rd and 7 here, and War Machine has to score a touchdown on this drive. You do not want to give Brew the chance to win the game on a long JJ or anything. Ooh, gets the block and avoids the diver. Wow, what a run by War Machine. So just like that, the pressure is now on Bruddog to move the ball down the field again against an excellent Lonnie Young. And now also an excellent Jay Taylor, who's been an excellent, who is 63 interception, 44 RB. I saw in the chat someone asking about the importance of RS on defense. RS is super important on defense, and what's what makes Lonnie Young so fast. And Brew going back to his back and B roots, and nothing doing there. I do wonder if it's better to put Tony in for the back and B. 63 PS is a little tough for proper back and B-age. And big 3rd down and 8 here, and you got to think it's go zone, so it's 4 down territory no matter what the down and distance for Brew. Oh, and War finally picks his play at the perfect time. You can't punt this ball, not with an excellent Timmy. You got to go for it. So this is the game right here, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't pick his play. Is he going to go for the hot route? No, he's going for the back and B. Live and die by the back and B. Lonnie Young doesn't get there. Oh, whoa! Bailed out on the straight on back and B. 80-yard throw because of the back of the end zone to tune at War Machine's 30. Holy shit. Great defense by War to get there back in time with Lonnie Young. 2 minutes left for Brew to score a touchdown. The longer he takes, the less time for War Machine to fire back. And now Brew is trucking down the field. War Machine burning his timeouts, hoping for a chance if Brew scores to get a chance to get an end of game JJ. Oh, good dive there by War Machine with Harvey after Brew avoids 2 drones. You have to wonder about War Machine using Harvey there. I get it, but with Lonnie Young so fast, I don't know. You'd almost be better off using Jay Taylor. Great move by Brew to get into the end zone. Great move. And I really do question, and War Machine's agreeing with me in the chat, I don't necessarily agree with him using Ken Harvey on any of those plays. I get it, trying to stop the run one, but either Taylor or Young would have been the better options. That was an incredible drive by Brew in execution once he got the lucky JJ. There's just not enough space here for War Machine to get this ball off. I don't care about the 31 MS. Unless he gets ridiculous protection, it's just not going to be enough time here for him to get the ball deep enough to the end zone, especially not with the big play. And we are going to overtime. How crazy would that have been if that game ended on a sack? And Bruddog gets the coin toss. So Brew, seemingly left for dead, 4th and long, deep in his own end, gets the 80-yard JJ, and then scores a touchdown on an incredible move, and leaves War 1 play at the end of the game and picks his play. And now Brew in the driver's seat to advance to the Final Four. And War Machine still using Harvey on that run 1. I still don't know if I agree with it, but regardless, what do I know? I'm sitting here announcing this game instead of having played in it. And Leahy is is tied for being the 2nd best kicker in the game with John Carney of the Chargers. So basically, granted, I'm sure Brew doesn't want to leave it to that chance, but anywhere near the 50-yard line and Brew is in field goal range. Figure 50-yard line and forward. Cone 45 is a little too long for 75 kicking ability. It does not hit it 100% of the time. It hits it once in a while, but not 100%. Big sack there for the Cardinals. Ooh, and the JJ block. So now 3rd and 19, and Brew needs to cook up some magic here to convert this and not pump the ball back to War. However, I will say, if this game somehow goes to a second overtime, huge advantage Brew based on these conditions. And Brew's going to be going for this, I think. And yes, he is. So 4th and 6, what can Brew cook up? This is a big play. Oh man, I don't agree at all. Oh, Lonnie Young! Lonnie Young coming off his player to drone sack Brew. And I was just going to say, I don't agree with who War was taking in coverage. Holy crap. Wow, Lonnie Young flew off this cover assignment quickly. That pass was very dangerous. Brew was up there. War got lucky. It was JJ blocked. Man, War just knew something we didn't about that play, let me tell you. Ooh, good look off there by War. Losing the 8-7 tap off. Come on, man. You got to work a little harder than that. Oh, he's got open. Oh my God. Timmy and Excellent misthrows it. Timmy and Excellent misthrows it. And Joe Kelly isn't good, meaning he can block a kick. And it's blocked. Oh my God. Oh, and he recovers it. But doesn't get the first down. This game is on drugs. On drugs. Holy shit. This reminds me of the Kovac and Shield game so much. Oh, that could have been an interception really easily. I don't know how War Machine did not lead this game till the end. This game should have been the last game. These other two games have so much to live up to. Just saying. So as I said, and I actually called this out, and War was lying, clearly. I called this out before the game. I said, oh, this must have been a double overtime game. Ooh, I thought that was good. I told him this must have been a double overtime game because the file was so large, and he was coy with me and said, no, it's not. Well, lo and behold, it's a double overtime game. War Machine the liar, making me look like a dick on the stream. However, I will say, I'm going to go back to what I said already, huge advantage, Bruddog. Huge. Huge advantage, Bruddog, because those conditions that War had were a big advantage. Bruddog getting the toss again. Oh, I guess you alternate. I didn't know that. Okay. War Machine the liar. Thunderbolt, or Nate, they actually go back to all average. You just basically start the game over. So as I said, big advantage Brew simply because the conditions that War had were with Timmy and Lonnie were next level. No, Kovac, in that game versus Shield, I still think trumps this, but this game absolutely should have been the last game, unless Brew knows something we don't about the other two. I don't know what he was thinking. All right, so War Machine moving the ball down the field. Oh, going long. Is he open? Oh, man. Timmy. Goes to show you, Timmy sucks when he's not an excellent. Sucks. Every throw War Machine has made deep with Timmy, not an excellent, has failed. And War just going for it each time at this point. And dangerous throw there. Man, kind of interesting War didn't go back to his grinding ways. Decent punt there by War, so let's see what Brew can do. Already this game looks like it's going to go to a third overtime. War Machine didn't even make it over midfield and burned 3 minutes of the quarter. I can't imagine what these guys were feeling during this game. The adrenaline must have been wild. Ooh, and Brew actually lucking out there with that JJ block. War had baited him. Both guys who were on the go routes were open as War stayed just off screen to cover short. And here's Brew, looks like he's going deep. Could this be the game? War's not back there. Oh, and no JJ into coverage. And another punt. Reprieve for War Machine. This game, I tell you. There's honestly no reason to bomb this ball for War. He might as well just continue his grinding offense, because what's the point? Why not? Because it's just your conditions will change, I think, right? Is that how it goes? Oh, well, there you go. So War Machine just said it in the chat, but just so I'll read it out loud for everybody so it's on record. This is where they had a 2-minute break to figure out what happens. Basically, these last 20 seconds are the end of the second OT, and then Brew gets the ball in the third OT. It doesn't carry over to second quarter, so they basically start a new game. So War bombs it on this play and could win it. War Machine, after this game, you're going to have to tell me why this wasn't the last game we watched tonight. Just saying. And shame on you for lying to me. That also makes sense why Bruddog punted, because if he goes for it and either you pick his play or the clock doesn't run out, you're going to have an easy chip shot field goal for the win. No, for what it's worth, he told me face to face, oh, there was a 5-minute break. I said, oh, it's got to be like an 2 overtime game or something because the file was so large. We've never had this happen in my 30 seasons of running HSTL in the playoffs, Hawkeye, so I don't know. During the regular season, obviously, it ends in a tie. We probably would, I guess, do the same thing as a tournament. Maybe the guys who've been around longer than me know what HSTL does. All right, War Machine's got a shot here. Scrum up to the top. Don't end on a safety. Got the ball off. Is it going to make it? And once again, Timmy sucks. Interesting War Machine that is agreeing to that. So he's saying in this game, we agree to let Brutus start in the second quarter with the ball instead of resetting a new game. We agreed to, but could reset. I don't understand that because I don't think conditions should play a part. But you guys, you haven't updated the conditions yet, and that makes no sense to me. So there hasn't been a condition update yet, for what it's worth. And Brew going back and B to tune. And just an overthrow. Tell you, the bombs aren't hitting it in this game, gentlemen. Oh, great. Oh, War did great defense on that, but got kicked off there, but then the drones clean up his dirty work. And so huge 4th and 2 here. Chip shot field goal for War Machine if Brew doesn't get it. And Brew stops him! Or War stops him! What a dive! What a dive! Holy God. I thought there was not a chance in hell War was going to stop that play for a loss. Zero chance. My God. DL3 around the left tackle, route to right tackle from a rating standpoint, left tackle actually on the field. Holy God. And Joe Kelly and good again, who blocked the field goal before for what it's worth. But Lonnie Young and good too. I'd be so afraid to run this ball in bounds. I mean, I get it because, you know, Del Greco sucks, but I'd be so afraid. Plus, you got a 44-38 guy, McMillan's in good. Man. What? That guy was open in the back of the end zone, and Tupa just threw it 5 yards short. Holy God. Here we go. Joe Kelly in good again. Here's the kick. It looks good. No block. War Machine wins an epic battle with Bruddog. Holy God. That game had a little bit of everything. War Machine, get your ass back here. You lying sack of shit.
Final Four, baby. That was crazy.
That dive was, I mean, guys, earmuffs for everyone. Like, if you're gonna have to mute it real quick. That dive was fucking incredible. Like, I cannot believe that play. Like, what through your head? The two moments I want to know. What went through your head? A, when he blocked your field goal attempt, then you recovered, and then you didn't get the first down when you thought you were going to get the first down because I thought you were going to get the first down. And then what was going through your head when he called run 3-8, you're using Freddie Joe, which I don't know if you thought it was run 3 or not, and you got that dive.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, I was just so pissed off that the play before the field goal, Rosenbach, an excellent, overthrew the receiver. Like that was game right there, wide open. I thought I had it. I was a little bit lower on the lower side of the field. Maybe that played a part into it, but I was so pissed off when that happened. And I was going to take my time with the field goal because I figured his guy wouldn't get in there. So I mean, it took me forever to finally kick the ball, but eventually it was perfect too, but it blocked, and then I tried to get that first down. I thought I got it, to be honest, because it was kind of like in the muck of all the players. But man, it was just crazy. And then with that Freddie Joe, so that was actually I stole a page out of Prime's book. I remember like years ago we used to play, and he used to always use the DL3 to kind of like do the dive on run three. I think I called run one, pass one on that play. So I figured I had to call this play or it was going to be run three. And I knew I needed to just kind of go for broke and just hope that I can get that dive. And it worked. So um, lucky, but I'll take it.
I mean, that dive's not lucky. Maybe you surprised him. He definitely took the wrong angle. I think, he was running up against his offensive lineman on that play, but holy God, man, like that play. And then, I mean, you're running the ball in bounds after that, which I get it. Del
I know.
Greco sucks.
Stupid.
Joe Kelly's there, and Joe Kelly's in good again. I mean, if you had fumbled that ball, which I mean, those of you who
No, totally.
those of you who are watching at home, so I have a timer on the gameplay, so I can see how much time is left. So pretty much I kind of knew what was happening once it was going to the overtime, and I kind of knew when the game was going to end. Which I mean, War, I probably shouldn't even tell you that, but anyway, so I kind of knew when the game was going to end. So once that dive happened, I knew War was going to win the game. But I'll tell you, unless Brew got a fumble return for a touchdown, and holy crap, I can't believe you were running the ball in bounds.
Yeah, stupid. I mean, when you're in these games, like your head just kind of gets into a haze, right? Like it's just foggy. It was like really like the adrenaline was incredible. Obviously, a lot of back and forth, and I definitely should have went out of bounds there. But yeah, I got lucky with that there was no fumble, but it was just a great game. He played great. I think conditions were in my favor. That definitely helped at least stop him. I guess toward the end of the game, in the fourth quarter
Yeah,
and in overtime.
shame
But
on shame on you for not using Lonnie and Excellent. What is wrong with you?
I know, I know. It was just one of those adrenaline moments where you just don't think, and it paid off for me though at the end. I mean, he Lonnie as a drone was the one that got that stop, right? So
That
that was like a
stop. I
genius
mean,
there.
that's the other play that really boggled my mind. So you're using none. You're going to cover deep. Lonnie's covering the running back two, who's on the little curl, because I think he was in the shotgun three play, the pass three play. And Lonnie quickly just comes off his guy and probably surprises Brew and just tackles him. I mean, it was
Yeah,
wild. It was wild to me. But all right.
yeah,
So
definitely got lucky there because he had to scramble. If he just would have juked up a little bit, I wasn't anywhere close, so he would have got the first down. But Lonnie was there, and he probably wasn't expecting it,
You had
so
a
he
couple
stopped
of
him.
plays though, honestly, where Lonnie got there, and also you threw into coverage with McMillan, and I was just surprised there
Yeah,
weren't any
a few
CC.
plays.
I was surprised there weren't any CC interceptions, to be honest with you. But regardless, so last question before we have to move on. Why was that game not saved for last?
It was more. I wanted to have a great game after the first game because it was kind of a dud. After that fumble and such. But I don't know. It was just more name recognition. I think people would want to see Bo, Nas, and MX and DPS. So that was really it. Um,
All I know is that that those two games, no matter the notoriety of the people in them, have a lot to live up to. That's all I'm saying.
yeah,
All right. Well,
but
congratulations
I'm
to
happy.
you on
Yeah.
advancing, my man. I'm glad my pick won. At least my pick tonight won. And then, Brew, well done, my man, and well played and tough loss. I do think the only second guessing for Brew I'd probably do is if he's gonna back and be it. Um, I don't know why he doesn't put in Tony. 44. I mean, he is the proponent. Gats is the proponent of the back and B. Like, you don't need the high PCQB. You can do it with the 44-44 guy. Those two guys made it happen, right? Like when I got into online Tecmo, Gats had perfected it. Basically using a 44-44 guy, and so it's just like to be doing it with Ken and Good at 63 PS or whatever. I don't get it, and I wonder why he didn't put Tony in. I get the higher PC, like it makes sense, but I just feel like he would have had a better luck with Tony personally. But that's the only question I have for Brew.
Yeah, and he timed it perfectly. I think both the attempts that he hit or that he missed, I think it was like right on target. I was expecting him to connect, and maybe that 44-44 guy might have done it. So
Well, this goes to show
um,
you too, and
yeah,
you and I say this all the time. 38 PS can go fuck itself.
it
That's
sucks.
dude. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Let's move on.
If you guys
But
watch our
thanks. Yep.
draft reviews ever, we talk so much shit about 38 PS. So for what it's worth. All right, on to Nas versus TecmoBo. So Nas called the matchup. He called the tried and true Bengals and Dolphins. This was the last matchup I played at the last Madison. I lost to Josh Holtzbauer, no, Chet Holtzbauer, um, in this matchup. Marino threw 4 interceptions in this game, overthrows.
Wow.
4 overthrow interceptions. So I lost by like 40 points. It was terrible. It was my last experience at Madison. But anyway, so Nas calls this. You got to think Nas is comfortable with either team, specifically the Dolphins too. I mean, obviously either team he likes Boomer or whatever, but you got to think he can be an assassin with Marino. So and obviously TecmoBo with the tapping. I don't not expect him to go with the running back and what have you. So are you kind of surprised by that matchup call? What do you think about that? What do you think about who
I
TecmoBo
think
chose?
I mean this is a common matchup that you see, but I'm surprised Bo took Cincinnati, and I'm thinking maybe because of the taps he wanted to have Brooks. But normally I would expect most people would take the Dolphins in this matchup, right? I think the guys in the chat can confirm. I think I was pretty shocked that TecmoBo gave Nas Marino, but I'm assuming it's mainly because of James Brooks having taps and what have you. So yeah, definitely a little bit surprised by Bo taking the Bengals, but this is a pretty common matchup that you'll see in these tournaments. Um, but it's still, I think, an edge to Miami. I think I take them every single time if somebody calls it against me, even though I like to have the dual threat of the run game and pass game. But having Marino is always really nice, especially against the top half of the Bengals defense. But yeah,
Yeah, well, I'm excited to see how Nas plays with Marino. To be honest with you, with behind a good offensive line. I think he had Marino and HSTL, but was behind like the Tampa Bay offensive line, and it was a shit show. So,
yeah.
okay, man. So we'll check in with you after this game. I don't know what I have left in me after that last game, but we'll see. We'll see what I can muster up for this one. But so we'll check back in with you. All right,
All right,
guys.
you're good.
So we've got Nas of the Dolphins versus TecmoBo of the Bengals. Let's go. All right, so Tecmo Bowl wins the toss, and he's going to clearly kick off, as everyone always does. So you got to think this is going to be real interesting to see how much Nas runs the ball. Ooh, nice return by Nas. He is just his D-pad magic, I'll tell you. It's going to be interesting to see how much Nas runs the ball with the Dolphins. And smartly scrambles there. If you guys saw, Fulcher was off screen covering the tight end there on the bottom of the screen on the go. Nice job by Nas getting the ball to Jensen, who was uncovered. And you can already see Fulcher flying all over the field. Oh, man, and he stays. Oh, and he gets it back. I was going to say, Nas is so good about staying close to the sideline when the ball bounced back in. Ooh, and Vulture got pancaked by the chop block there. So Nas getting a nice little 10-yard run there. And he's going to scramble that all day with Fulcher lurking back there, as both go routes would have been covered by Fulcher. He might have been able to sneak it up to the running back too, but probably not. Oh, look at the blocking of that play. And it looks like Nas is going to sneak this one in. Big play. Gets it over to Smith. Ooh, nice. Master of the D-pad. So Nas marches down the field, makes light work of the David Fulcher defense, and makes TecmoBo, giving him Marino, look foolish. Bo's got two people open, but smartly scrambles, although gets caught from behind, which probably would have only gotten a couple more yards beyond what he already got in that play. Bo smartly finding Rodney Holman, the open guy. So Bo has already got a nice little chunk here to start this drive and has yet to call a run play, maybe surprising some of us. Oh, throwing cross field, but Nas is all over that. Probably would have been better served throwing his underneath wide receiver one. Nice job there by Bo avoiding the rush and then scrambling. As Nas went deep, covering the only person that was open. Wilhelm in good, but doesn't really matter. James Brooks in bad does matter. Holman in good also matters. On defense, Offernell in bad, which sucks for Nas. Finally, a run play by Bo. Oh, when he misses the dive, and he had to because the blocker was there. And now Bo is off to the races. And Bo had options there and gets out tapped by Nas 11-10. Wow. Nas really bringing out his tapping shoes for that one. And Bo gets it off to Holman and going to easily score a touchdown. Really good answer by Bo on that drive, and this is some high-level offense we're witnessing, guys. Coming up on offense for Nas, Tony Page and Duper in bad. On defense, nothing really to note for Bo. Because the only condition that really matters is Fulcher. Maybe Francis a little bit too. So Nas has about just over 3 minutes left here to try to score a touchdown before the end of the half and not allow Bo to double dip. Wilhelm isn't good, so it gives Bo a good opportunity for a back and B end of half touchdown, likely to Holman. Way too many people hoping for Nas there. And Nas, like he did actually in his game where he had Barry Word in, he's got his Tony Page in at wide receiver 2. Nice little aerial trick there, gets the first down. And not to forget, Nas can take out Marino and put in Mitchell if he needs to throw a back and be heave. A one play back and be heave. Ooh, nice cycling by Nas to get the ball off to Jensen. Just stellar cycling. If anything, he's moving the ball too quickly. Interesting that Bo just sold out there and didn't go cover. I think he's almost trying to maybe allow the score so he can get the back and be heave at the end of the half, then try to double dip. Ooh, and a tight throw window there for Nas, but he gets it off. So let's see what Marino can do here inside the 10-yard line. Pick the play. 3rd and 13 for Nas. Oh man, everyone open. Nas doing an incredible arrow trick, just like taking candy from the baby there. No, I mean, there's no way Fulcher can cover the whole field, especially not with Marino's 81 PS. But as I said, Eric Wilhelm is in good, so it's going to be Wilhelm time, probably bombing the ball to maybe Brooks or Holman. Oh no! Ooh, gets it right back. So both these guys fumbled and got their balls right back. So Bo doing the tried and true run 3 to try to get into JJ zone. I prefer the hot route instead, but that's just me. Gets the ball off, but gonna get tackled in bounds. One play here, so I know he bought himself some room, but it sucks because now if his play gets picked, it's pretty much it. This is his only chance. Can Nas pick his play? Doesn't pick it, so here we go. And it's one-on-one coverage. Can Wilhelm get it to him? Throwing it to Brooks instead of Holman. And waited too long. I wonder what would have happened if he didn't wait so long. Good half by both these gentlemen. Thank you for skipping the halftime show. Condition check real quick. Brooks, Woods, and Green in bad. Wilhelm still in good. Holman in good. And Caddis now in good. On defense, Jarvis Williams in good for Nas, but Oliver in bad. So it's going to be the DB4 offense. All right, let's see what Bo can do here. Big play, just gets the ball to the running back, harmlessly falls to the ground. Ooh, and Jarvis Williams popcorning whoever's there at the bottom of the screen, so that person must be a wide receiver who has only 13 hitting power. And Bo easily converts running the halfback dive play. And look at the drone blocking that Bo had there. I didn't think Nas had to bail out there. I don't think maybe he saw the pack of 3 guys coming after Bo afterwards. I feel like if he just engaged, he would have held them to a much shorter game. And Bo is marching down the field. Ooh, and the drone's really helping out Nas on that play. So 2nd and 12 here for Bo. And conditions really not helping his cause. Ooh, pick play. So this is going to be a big play here now. 3rd and 15, midfield. Kind of at the edge of Breach's range. And if he makes it close, he's probably going to go for it anyway. But fantastic coverage. So he's going to have to scramble and get sacked. So now he's at the very edge of Breach's range. Going for it anyway. Q Green in bad, so there's really no one to rush. I think it's low. I think it's low. Oh, and it's short. So as I said, the very edge of the range, and that is a huge stop for Nas. A touchdown here is almost good night Irene for Nas. Or for Bo, in Nas's favor. that play to the running back in between the divers. Just stellar. And Naj just moving down the field at will now. Nothing Bo can do to stop this offense. There's too many guys open, and with Marino's passing speed, you just can't cover all of them, even with Fulcher. And just like that, gets a quick burner, Cooper, and this game is pretty much over. I'd say Bo can back and be this and maybe get a stop. We'll see, but it's not looking good for Bo. He is helped out by the extra seconds that would not be ticking off because of this kick return. Oh, and the fumble. Oh, gets it back. Oh, oh man, Brooks is feisty. Oh, good job by Bo there to try to utilize that free time. So Wilhelm no longer in good, which hurts Bo's cause, but he has Boomer in good, which is interesting. McGee in good, Holman in good. He's got to bomb it, right? He just has to bomb it, or just scramble. I feel like he's got to bomb it. Jarvis Williams still in good. Lewis Oliver out of bed. And he is bombing it. Doing it with Boomer. Just not sure about that. And there is the ceiling interception. Well, I'm not going to speed this up like I do in HSTL when I play the games back, but this game is definitely Nas. Congratulations, Nas, on advancing to the Final Four versus War Machine. That game does promise to be very good. You were an absolute assassin with Dan Marino. And Bo, I wonder if you're around, if you regret taking the Bengals. Although I will say, those of you who have not watched Nas use Boomer Esiason, he's also very good with Boomer. But it was good to see TecmoBo come out of his Tecmo slumber and come back to competitive Tecmo in general. He's in 2K as well as obviously in this tournament after a hiatus since the last tournament. And it's good to have him back in the online fold for what it's worth. TecmoBo, one of the best players around, and just kind of basically shaking off the rust, coming back and just playing at the high level he's played at goes to show you it's definitely true. His own little version of Regulator. Nas kicking the field goal just to leave no doubt here, which there wouldn't be, obviously, if I suppose a fumble return for a touchdown and some sort of weird stuff could happen. But now this game, even if it wasn't over before, is definitely over. Just so you know, Prime, Nas is the one who called the matchup. Player one calls the matchup. So once again, great run by Bo, and Nas doing what he does best, which is just flat out winning and destroying people with an elite passing game. The last game we're going to be seeing tonight after War Machine comes back and comments about this one is MX versus DPS, and I'm sure if War Machine put it last, not this one last. It promises to be a good game. I do question, looking just even at this play right now, why. I mean, I get the whole being in good thing, but it just doesn't make any sense why he's back in being it with Boomer instead of Wilhelm. But regardless, all right, War Machine, welcome back, my man. Really turned into an uncompetitive match there in the second half. Nas just completely disgusting with Marino. I don't even have anything else to say about it. I mean, I think Nas had Marino recently in HSTL, as I said, but he was behind the Tampa Bay offensive line, which is a shit show. But just goes to show you what Nas can do when he's got protection.
Yeah, I think really the big mistake Bo made was just giving Nas Miami. Even if he wasn't comfortable with them, I think you just can't give Nas Marino and all those weapons as player one. It's just I think everybody hit the nail on the head in the chat. It's just that was where his downfall really started. But you have to question, I think, when Nas had the ball at the goal line, 3rd and 11, and Bo called run, everybody was wide open. You just can't call a run against Miami in that situation. I'm a big proponent of calling run on 3rd down because I think a lot of people do call run on 3rd down on offense. So you can kind of sneak like I did against Bruddog in our game, but not against Miami, not against Nas, because it's just if he calls pass, it's a touchdown no matter what. So if he held him to a field goal there, maybe it's a different game. You never know. But Bo just didn't seem like he was playing as good as he could. He was kind of making mistakes, like not having Wilhelm in certain cases, and some of the decisions he made. So Nas is just much
Yeah,
much
but
better
I
in
mean,
this game.
I want to touch on this very clearly, and I'm saying, yeah, don't give Nas Marino. Dude, Nas with Boomer is just is really bad too. Like it's hard to play Nas when he's
Yeah,
got a high PSQB. It's just honestly he's truly, and I mean I say it funnily, funny, that's not the word. Funny, is it funnily or humorously? There you go. There's the word. Wow, I suck. I say it humorously that literally he's a passing assassin, and especially with high PSQB. I mean, look what he did with
yeah,
Cam and 31 PC and 2K. Like literally, give him any high PSQB, he's going to destroy you.
exactly. I think, yeah. I mean, but Miami has some better pieces, I guess, overall all around the field that might help negate it. But either way, it was going to be tough for Bo, no matter what. I just would rather take my chances with Boomer versus Marino. But I'm curious to see what his thought process was in that call as far as taking Cincinnati. I don't think he's in the chat, but it would have been interesting to hear, like, I guess what he was thinking about that. But Nas was just playing great, lights out as usual, and he moves on.
That's true. All right, guys. So we're on to our last game here. We have, oh, real quick, congratulations, Bo, on your run. Nas, good luck against War Machine. Okay. So now we're here. It's DPS versus MX. As I said at the end of this last game, if you're putting this last, this has to be a good game, I think. I hope. So basically, DPS, the upstart online guy, obviously he's been good for a while. Been, this rising the ranks of online Tecmo. MX, who's really come into his own the last year or so, kind of came onto the scene as just an elite I-form guy, has now turned into so much more. After Gats drafted some pretty shitty teams for him in HSTL, he just kind of really broadened his horizons. And I mean, honestly, I still say this, like his defense is suspect, no offense to him. He definitely does better with better personnel. But his offense, man, I'll tell you what, his pass cycling, and I've said it, it's like the most underrated part of his game. I've said it in multiple streams. I've said it in HCL streams. I've said it all over the place. Like MX's pass cycling is so good. It's like, I mean, it's not like Nas Prime level, but it's so good. It's getting up there. I mean, don't you think?
Yeah, that plus his eye form and his running skills, which is also top notch. The only thing that he doesn't have is taps, right? So he pretty much has it all in offense. But yeah, he's been playing great, playing extremely well in all the leagues. Always been a great player. Um, I'm curious your thoughts about this matchup. So Phoenix Saints, DPS taking Phoenix. So I'm surprised by that, not because Phoenix sucks. It's just you normally don't ever see people take Phoenix in these matches, even if like you feel really comfortable with them. Like for me, I never take Phoenix as player two, but I'm comfortable with them. I'm surprised he didn't take New Orleans, but it's a pretty good matchup. I like this call by MX. He gets to have those running backs for his running game. DPS probably one of the defense and is okay with the offense personnel. So I like the matchup call between these two guys. I think it's definitely one that I'm interested in seeing.
Yeah, well, we just saw how shitty Timmy Rosenbach is as player one, so I can't imagine how shitty
Hmm.
he's going to be as player two. So, I mean, honestly, I mean, Timmy Rosenbach is what? Who do we hate in 2K? Is it It was
I think it wasn't
Minshew.
it Minshew,
Minshew.
Gardner
It's
Minshew.
yeah, it's literally like I mean, it's like LVP, the new LVP. It's just crazy. So I don't know. I think in this matchup, I prefer the Saints, but I don't mind like
Yeah,
the whole grindy aspect of it. Um, yeah, it's gonna be interesting though. Although I will say though, it's the Saints defensively. I think DPS can really exploit those. I think DPS with the Cardinals can exploit MX playing defense as the Saints. I do think
yeah.
that. I think that, I've played games against MX in the past. I know he's better now. Where if his linebacker is in one or two or in that area, you can exploit him defensively. But it's just more, so maybe DPS knows something we don't. We'll see. But I think this is going to be a really good game, and MX is playing at a pretty elite level, and so is DPS for that matter. Um, but I mean,
What's your prediction? Who you picking to win?
I'm gonna pick MX just because of player one, and I think I
Hmm.
mean I agree with the line. I think it probably is a pick 'em, but I mean it probably isn't a pick 'em if you think about it. If you factor the team in, just because I think the Saints are favored in this matchup in general. So I
Yeah,
mean I'd probably pick MX -3. Don't you think?
yeah. I think if Bruddog did this with the teams in mind and who was player one, player two, I think it is probably a -3 game. But definitely two fairly even teams that have strengths in certain places, and I think DPS probably wanted to have the better defensive personnel to have have the safeties with Harvey at LB1. That's probably why I'm thinking he probably took them. But yeah, I think I would agree. MX -2, -3, I think makes a lot of sense with this matchup.
Well, also key note too though, that I think the Saints defensive line, if they change conditions going to good, start popcorning some
Yeah, it could
people
be a problem at certain
start
points. Yep,
start
agree.
popcorning some people on the offensive line of the Cardinals as well, because I think there's
Yeah,
two 38 HP guys on the offensive line for the Cardinals. All right,
yep.
so
All right.
a last thing to note real quick, and the defense of the Cardinals is really small, and correct me if I'm wrong. I believe they're pretty small. There's not a lot of HP on the defense of the Cardinals, and the Saints have the true kick returning genius of Hayward at 44 MS. So let's see how that plays into this game as well.
Agreed. Yep.
All right,
All right.
so
Catch
War
you soon.
Machine, we'll bring you back after this game is over. Guys, last game with the Elite Eight. Thank you for sticking around for the Thunderdome 13 Elite Eight Quadruple Header Extravaganza. And let's get this final show on the road. Oh, God, this volume is way too low. There we go. All right, so MX won the toss, and he clearly kicked off. So DPS, interesting playbook, not afraid of MX knowing he's going to run the ball, as most of his runs are motions. So a lot of ISO grapples here, knowing he can out tap MX. And does a good job getting around there, but no one to throw to. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays in. And also, which defender um, MX mans most of the time. And DPS surprisingly is going back and B with Timmy as player two. Granted, they're slowing as he open. Wow, he hits it. So, War Machine, I know you're listening. That's how you do it, man. Maybe you just gotta, maybe it was just a bad angle, because there's shitty 31 PS Timmy Rosenbach. First bomb, back and B bomb by DPS, and it's a touchdown. Anyway. Oh, and it must have been a lag punt. It's that Mexico City lag. Something else that I think MX does a lot better now as well is he does a lot of creepy scrambling. I think he's gotten a lot better at this scramble itself, and more importantly, I think these crossfield throws that he throws, like he's always done them pretty well on that, that single back pass forward. Plus, if you look, there's no more I form. Like MX has just really expanded his horizons a lot to be something else. Although I'm a little surprised he didn't run I form here, simply because Hayward would popcorn the shit out of Anthony Bell at LB4. So if there was any game to run an I form, it's this one. Ooh, nice little run behind the line. Oh, nice moves by MX. Oh, and he fumbles out of bounds and it goes backwards. So it's not 3rd and 1 anymore. It's 3rd and 3. So good moves there by MX, but couldn't shake DPS. Gets behind the line. Nice little cut through the in between the tackle and guard, and he's off to the races. And stays in bounds. Could have easily gone out of bounds and risked another fumble after just fumbling. Just commenting on the chat, something in the chat. If Ken Harvey is manned at all in the I form, I would say that's a win for MX because it means he's not manning Young or McDonald. And really nice job. I actually thought MX was making the wrong play there throwing that because it looked like DPS was already going back to the running back, but it still worked out, getting him to dive and easily scampering in for a touchdown. Really good answer drive there by MX, and we'll see what DPS can do with the condition change. Nice little return there by DPS. Condition update, Ricky Prohl ain't good. Maybe he'll get some junk there in the secondary against Toy Cook. Pat Swilling ain't good, which really helps MX there because he's been using him in coverage and stuff, so it helps better with that. And we'll see what happens here. A 16-10 tap off, and off to the races is Johnny Johnson. You gotta think this is one of the reasons why DPS took the Cardinals, just because I feel like he just thinks that with what MX can do, scrambling around and stuff, maybe didn't want to give him a 19 MSQB. And MX trying to do the DB2 defense there in the backfield, but just not working, and really too easy to drive there by MX. So MX has proven that you can't stop DPS at all. Obviously, on a bomb, you can't really say much, but I mean, DPS just sliced through MX's defense like butter. So let's see if MX can use Hayward in his, actually Brock's in bad, so now he's only 38 MS, which actually is a big deal. So MX doing a little bit of running here and seeing if he can kind of get into range. Ooh, DPS dives and misses, but then gets tackled by a drone. 2:45 left here to try to get the score and potentially double dip. And gets it off the penalty and just off the races. If anything, you don't want to give DPS the ball back with too much time to ruin the double dip opportunity. Nice job there by MX, is taking what DPS will give him. gets the first down. So now it's a matter of trying to take as much time off the clock as possible for MX, giving DPS as little time as possible to try to back and beat it before the end of the half. Oh, nice move there with the little circles and cycling, and that was just too easy. So these guys are just running all over each other in a sense of just moving the ball at will. Let's see if DPS can dial up some more Timmy magic to score before the end of the half. But it looks like we're going to have a shootout in this one. All right, so pretty much two shots here for DPS. Oh, and he's going to try to run the range, so pretty much going to be one shot if he gets it off without pick play. Pick play, so gets away from him. Nice job getting away from pick play. So now it's going to be one shot. Not picked, but he's rushing. Oh, misses the dive, so he's going to have a look at it. Gets it off to Ernie Jones. Oh, the miss, JJ, and there is Timmy sucking. And that probably made War Machine smile, because War Machine knows exactly how you feel. Very well played offensive first half there for both guys. Defensively, left a lot to be desired. Condition check real quick. 4K in good, which helps, but Hayward in bad. Defensively, nothing really to note for DPS. And DPS is all over MX's run game. All right, let's see if he can convert this third down, making no secret that he's running. Oh, and you saw DPS try to dive with Eric Hill, who's in good, but got caught up right by the blocker just beforehand and couldn't get it. So nice little gain there by MX. Oh, he's got the, oh man. MX had the crossfield throw to the tight end right there. Or whatever tight end. Whoever's playing tight end. Hayward. Something else that MX has added to his game, if you guys have noticed in this game, is his D-pad work has gotten better. His moves on the field have gotten better than they used to be as well. And gets the ball off right before getting sacked pretty much by DPS, but the ball doinks. And big 3rd and 6 here. Wonder if he doesn't get it, if he's going to take the points or if he's going to go for it. And comes in from behind with Lonnie Young, but just not fast enough and gets just enough for a first down. And MX gets the ball off, and that's what we were talking. DPS was talking about this earlier in the chat. What MX can do on a pick play is just wild. People open, he's going to have options here, and takes the first down instead. nice little job. Oh, gets it just in the window. DPS probably thought he was going to JJ block it potentially, but too close. Dives, and MX throws it in between 3 diving defenders. Man, what a timing play. As I was saying in the pregame, MX's passing, cycling, and game in general has just come such a long way. Before, when I remember when he first got back on the scene, or the first time I started playing him, he was like the I-form guy who just always beat you on that pass war to wide receiver 1, and now it's just so much more. Ricky Prohl still in good, only condition to really note for DPS on defense. If he wants to use a DB, Brett Maxey isn't good at 44 RP. And once again, DPS is tapping, coming to play here, and just throwing DPS to this, or throwing MX to the side. Surprised DPS stayed in bounds there instead of going out of bounds and not risking a fumble, but regardless. Oh boy. That's what that big change was. So thank you, War Machine. So just like so everyone is, if you're not reading, the game desynced in the 4th quarter, and so War Machine used the backup of the OBS recording that MX recorded for him as a backup in the 4th quarter to use it. That's why the quality is down and so on and so forth. Plus, if there is any lag or anything like that, you'll see it. Keynote 2, since we're past it now, the reason why MX did screen grab is because he learned his lesson when his Super Bowl with Viking mode desynced, and we had no ending to the HSTL Season 59 Super Bowl. So thank you, MX, for learning your lesson. Really good drive by DPS, and there's an answer. However, MX with tons of time here, 19 MS, 50-50 QB. Brett Perriman. Brett Perriman is an excellent. He's got options, as Flo likes to say. Lonnie Young also in bad. But throwing into coverage is not smart. MX making an uncharacteristic mistake there. So on offense here, Tupa in good, Prohl in good. Defensively, Brett Maxey now an excellent, and Massey in good. I wonder if DPS does not know that Tupa is in good, because if he did, he'd be in the game right now. So I don't think DPS can burn 248 off this clock. So I definitely think that MX is going to have a chance with 4K and good, Perriman excellent, Eric Martin to throw to and whatnot for a chance to tie the game if DPS does score a touchdown here. Ooh, big play pick there. So a huge 3rd and 8 here. MX, we got to fix your colors, man. And a play call again into coverage. Holds him to a field goal. Wow. Big stop for MX. 2 huge play calls. All right, so minute and a half. What can MX do? And already almost in Morton Anderson's field goal range. Morton Anderson isn't bad, so he's only 50 kicking ability. Pretty much have to get it around the 50, just inside the 50-ish to get a kick. No one, Harvey can block that kick though. So, and as we saw earlier with the War Machine Bruddog game, anything can happen. Ooh, great throw. Great throw. I love that crossfield throw. And now it's chip shot range. Now the only question is, can MX punch this ball in the end zone? You gotta throw a hot route here, right? A JJ hot route? Oh man. Staying in bounds. Oh, wasted too much time. How do you not throw the hot route? Wow, holding to a field goal. You got to throw to the end zone there, man. Lonnie Young's in bad. You're not going to get a JJ pick. I mean, big stop there for DPS. And here we go, another overtime game. So I guess War Machine knew that this would be a good one. Ooh, and DPS getting the toss is huge. Until that last drive where MX picked a couple of plays, MX has shown no way to stop DPS's offense. Johnny Johnson in bad though, Tupa in good. I mean, we'll see. Good defense there by MX holding DPS to only 6 yards. Obviously, Johnny Johnson only being 44 MS, showing its face here. You got to think DPS is going to have to get pretty close, if not score a touchdown, with Del Greco as his kicker. Good move there. Now big 3rd and 2 here. Oh, he just gave him that. I don't know what he was doing there. Maybe he was trying to go cover the tight end. I would have risked that throw to the tight end to try to stop him there and maybe get in between him and the running back and then maybe rush him. Good play call. Ooh. Almost gets it to the open guy who gets caught by a drone. Another big 3rd and 10. Deep guys covered. Oh, and a drop! A drop! And he's going to go for it. Here we go. 4th and 10. Overtime. 45 you'll own 45-yard line. What can he do? And it's a pick play. And he gets the diving CC for his player too. What a conversion by DPS. Holy God. Every time I do that in a game, it's an interception. Holy God. I get why DPS is not kicking here, but he's really playing with fire, getting tackled in bounds, especially with Johnny Johnson in bed. And just like that, we should call it the holy diver. I like that. The holy diver wins DPS this game. Incredible win over MX, who's playing lights out Tecmo in a game where maybe MX regrets not going for the win at the end of regulation. What a game. War Machine, come back, my man. What do you think?
Yeah, I think in that situation, I think there was like 35 seconds left, 36 seconds, something like that. You have to go with the pass three shotgun JJ or the pass two. I forgot which pass two he had in the game, but you have to go for the time JJ there, even if it's blocked, force him to make that block, right? And with nerves and all that, he may not get in position. So I think definitely not doing that. I think probably cost him the game there. But MX played great. Even that interception he threw, that bottom receiver was wide open, and 4K just underthrew him. So really, I think MX played great on offense. DPS couldn't stop him. Both guys couldn't stop each other for the most part. And then overtime, yeah, the whole, the holy diver, that was crazy. You
Yeah,
have to feel for MX. As
you
player
gotta
one,
feel.
like it's awful.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I mean, I mean, I understand ball control means nothing in a sense, right? But are you a little surprised with all the tackles DPS took in bounds with Johnny Johnson that he didn't cough the ball up? I mean, I'm a little surprised.
I can't say because I was doing this. I was doing the same thing 2 games ago, but definitely, I had a feeling he was going to fumble when I was watching the game back. I just like was kind of like my mind. I'm like a fumble's coming, but it just didn't work out from the math perspective. But yeah, it's risky. Could have cost him the game, but it worked out for him. So great play by both in this game. It was literally score for score, who got the ball last kind of game, and Tecmo really screwed Johnny at the end, and it's unfortunate.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I call it CC screwing Johnny. I mean, this was part of the game. At least it wasn't like a fumble or something crazy. Like it's just part of the game, and instead of like one of those weird things that happen that suck, right? So it's just like Johnny played lights out, and DPS just unfortunately played a little bit better.
Yep.
I mean, there were so many times. I mean, Johnny held him when he needed to give himself a chance, to force it to overtime. But I mean, before that drive, and it was only aided by two big plays. Johnny couldn't stop. MX couldn't
He
stop
couldn't.
DPS the whole game. So, and DPS couldn't stop MX the whole game besides the pick. And obviously until he ran out of time there. So, just kind of one of those games where it just seems like the last person who has the ball is going to win.
And you have to feel like for MX because like picking that pass one, like when you pick that play, it's like for the most part, it's either you throw it to a running back or you kind of hope and throw it to the top receiver. A lot of times, some people do go to the wide receiver too. And there was no coverage there, but Johnny was there, and I think he was using Swilling or one of the linebackers. So maybe that. Well, actually, it didn't matter
No,
because
it's a yeah, it's a
diver,
dive. It
that
was.
diver was
I'm,
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what though. I always throw to that wide receiver two on that play every single time it's player two, and I can't tell you how many times I throw an interception on it.
It's always an interception.
An
That's the thing.
overthrow P2 interception. So what the hell? DPS, take the horseshoe out of your ass. I want to insert it in mine and go play and go gambles on blackjack. Let's go to the casino at Tundra. I don't know where the nearest casino is, but let's go. I'm gonna go on a blackjack bender. But anyway. Really well played. I mean, a high level game. Maybe defensively not as much, but offensively, really high level game there, played by both of them. They couldn't stop each other, and just it was DPS's night. So you've got DPS versus. Oh my
You
God,
can go to the next slide, Hoff,
oh,
if you didn't already.
yeah, I'll do
Yep.
that. I'll do that right now. So you got the final four. Is it a video, or do I click it again?
Just click the next slide. It's just the bracket, updated
Yep.
bracket.
So you got DPS versus RandyWags and Dawes versus 51st seed War Machine. 51st seed War Machine. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
One does not belong with the other. That's for sure. But I'll take it. I'm
I mean,
there.
I mean, I like. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I love me some DPS. I tout him all the time, and obviously, I'm in love with you. But you have to think that this is like a Nas Randy Wags collision course, right? I mean, just like it always is. It seems like it is in 2K all
You
the
feel like
time.
it is exactly. I mean, it kind of feels that
I mean,
way, and I think
I would love a U versus DPS thing. Like, I just think that would be like really awesome. especially I think it'd be pretty special to have you be in the final or win like your own tournament. When obviously I know that I don't I know it happens here or there, but like with this field and how many people we had, how many good players we had, and and all that stuff, just to go through Bruddog and what have you, and do this. I mean, I think it would be pretty special. So, but I definitely think that we've had a lot of upsets, but these are I mean, maybe you notwithstanding, no offense, TPS, Wags, and Nas are playing some of the best online Tecmo there is. Maybe throw MX in there,
Absolutely.
throw Odell in there, and you've got some of the guys playing some of the best online Tecmo right now. So I would say nothing.
Either way, I think getting a Nas, Randy Wags, DPS, Nas. I mean, if I make it, I guess for a story, it's great. But it's gonna be some hopefully some great games. Hopefully get some close games in the Final Four. I know me and you have been talking about how we're gonna handle the Final Four and championship about as far as the stream, but it's 100 people. I feel pretty good make it to the Final Four, especially with my sort of one foot out the door kind of state of Tecmo. But I couldn't be happier right now. This is house money for me. But either way, win or lose for me, I think it's something to keep my head up high. But a Nas Randy Wags would be probably the best story, just from because these two are the best two guys probably the last 2 years. Nas owned 2019, Randy dominant in 2020. They've played each other probably in a ton of big games, but it'd be nice to kind of see those two. But
See,
don't DPS.
I actually disagree. I think it'd be really nice to see you in DPS because this goes to show you that anybody can make it. I mean, last year it was what Shield and Kovalkin, right? So it's like
Hmm.
I think it's better when like the two guys you expect to get there don't, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. I'm a contrarian on that, to be honest with you. But regardless, I'm excited for these games, and I what a night of Tecmo, man. Like honestly, it's just like I mean I've been doing Tecmo since 3 p.m. Eastern, so it's been about 7.5 straight. It's been about 7.5 straight hours for me. But I'll tell you, like it ended on a good note, and man, those are some games.
I was worried for a second because the first two NSVs I got was the Nas TecmoBo and the Randy Odell, and both those games weren't that great. So I was kind of worried that if me and Brew didn't play a good game, and even the DPS game wasn't as good, I was kind of nervous about it. But thankfully, you know, 2 out of 4 isn't so bad, and probably I probably should put our game last just from like
You
the
absolutely should
drama
have put your game
perspective.
last, you son of a bitch. Like, honestly, what you
Yeah,
should have done is you should have stacked the non-competitive games. No offense to those guys, and then like you should have, and then you could have really just like,
I know.
you could have like toyed with our balls a little bit with that DPS MX game and thinking like, oh man, what a good game, right? And then we would have really like blown our wad 3 times in a row with your game
I
versus
know.
Brew. I mean, literally, I mean that's just how I would have done it. I mean,
Lesson learned.
but anyway, all right, man. So we don't know when we're coming on again, guys, yet. But obviously, the next stream will be the final. The next stream will have at least the final four and the third place game, and then we might stack it all in one night, depending. So not sure yet. Regardless, we will be doing the championship at least on Sunday, a week from
Yep.
today, and then
Right.
we might, depending, be doing the whole Final Four, third place game, and the championship on Sunday. We're not sure yet. So we're not sure how our schedules jive this week or not. So regardless, we're gonna get the championship on Sunday. So this is all over in 1 week. But which is sad face, insert sad face here. But we might have more before then, and so on and so forth. So War Machine, I guess I can tell you instead of, thanks for doing this, I can also tell you good luck in your game versus Nas because I hope you win that toss, honestly, because
Yeah, I know.
if you don't, you're in trouble.
Hey, you know what? I mean, I've like struggled against Nas in like 2K and some of these leagues because with him with taps and DB2, it's just really tough. So I'm kind of interested to play him in OG ROM. I don't think I ever played him in OG ROM, so it's gonna be fun to battle him. And if I can make it to the championship game or series, getting through Nas would be quite the accomplishment. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to DPS and Wags, and it's gonna be a fun time. So I appreciate everybody joining us tonight. It's been fun. Hope you guys enjoyed the games, and more to come next week. Next Sunday, there's HSTL starting up. I think tonight, right, or tomorrow.
Yeah, so I
And so
mean,
you
yeah,
guys have your
there,
fix of Tecmo.
yeah, there's gonna you guys for those of you guys who are Tecmo deprived, Thunderdome, the hard part of Thunderdome is over, and all the HSTL ROMs since we have locked positions are gonna be dropped. So if you guys like streams, follow your favorite streamer. You're gonna have a lot of games coming up this week in HSTL where we have an interesting draft format with locked defensive positions. War Machine, I'll see you again at least by Sunday, if not before. Everyone, thanks for watching. We couldn't do this without your support, and War, I couldn't do this without you, and I tell you that over and over again. Thank you for all that you do in Thunderdome and so on and so forth. And congratulations to DPS, Wags, you, and Nas for advancing to the Final Four, and better luck next year to MX, Odell, Bruddog, and TecmoBo. Anything you want to add, War, before we get out of here?
Nope, I'm good.
All right,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
So that is it. Till next time. How about you enjoy this little 8-bit surprise I have for you right now? It's Hoff and War Machine signing out.